you spent a lot of time with the England team before the tournament began. What was the feeling like in the run up to the tournament amongst the players? What were they like to be with?
Oh, they were um, they were obviously very professional. I mean, footballers have this sort of way with them, sort of talking about only about football, and they made it easy for me because because the team was together for such a long time. That I was part of the team, which was great. I wasn't just an outsider going in and photographing and then disappearing again. So we were all on first name terms, and and that was nice. It made my life a lot easier. They had great card schools in those days. They were always forever playing cards on the coach to and from international matches. You know, in their sort of social moments. You know, if it was an overnight up at Lillishall Hall, you know, we'd all be playing cards, sometimes for money, sometimes for not. So it was all good fun. You know, we would play snooker together, and I was just part of the whole squad, if you like. And you know, it wasn't a sort of an us and them situation. I didn't realise how privileged I was, and it was to me a great job to have, and to be able to photograph them as well. I was able to get some very nice relaxed shots of them as well as when they were on the football pitch, and that was great fun to be with. The couple of weeks before the World Cup, there was this 2-week closed session when the England team were taken up to Lillishall Hall up in Shropshire, which is now the National Sports Centre for football and other sports, and I had exclusive access again to photographing whatever they were doing, either on the pitch, off the pitch, or whatever. And at certain times, I was allowed to give a roll of film, as it was then, to a motorcycle messenger from the Daily Mail and say, right, those few pictures are for you, or to the Express, or whatever. So that was good fun. And obviously I couldn't take photographs all day and every day. I mean, it would just be far too much to do. But I was able to participate playing football with them as well, which I thought was great fun. In the afternoon, in the morning I would sort of say, if it was a nice fine morning, I would say photograph them doing a training session or something like that, or a tactical talk with Alf, who would be outside. All the chairs and tables would be outside in the middle of the pitch, literally, and they would have a team talk session, so I'd be walking around photographing them. And then in the afternoon, it would be a question of either playing a different sport altogether. I mean, Geoff Hurst and Martin Peters in particular used to like playing tennis an awful lot, as I did, so I used to play a little bit of tennis with them. And if there was a training session, a tactical training session, I used to be a very good amateur cyclist, so I was very fit, and I had a good left foot as well, and I was able to kick a ball pretty good as well. So Al said, as long as you don't tackle, you know, come on the pitch and you can, you know, you stand there and you get the ball past you a few times and, you know, try and get it past, whatever. But in one particular occasion, Alan Shepherd, who was the head coach, he would often ask me to go with Gordon Banks to another part of the training area, and he would give me a net full of footballs, 10 or 15 footballs, and then he would say to Gordon, right, Derek's going to kick a few balls, I'm going to watch. And so Alan would say, just pump them down his left side, just keep very low on the ground, just keep pumping them down his left side. And so I had the job of trying to beat Gordon Banks, which was a bit of a laugh. And I was maybe sort of 10 yards from him, 15 yards from him, but I wasn't sort of kicking them super hard, but I was at the same time trying to beat him. And I did a few times, beat Gordon, which was good fun. And he would be sort of maybe sitting on the ground, so it would be very difficult for him to move. So I have to sort of just keep the ball pumping past him.
Did you feel that you were in quite a privileged position to be, you know, I mean, you were very young and you're
Yes.
hanging out with the England team.
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, was there a sense of real expectation that they could win the World Cup?
Yeah, there was a bit of a comfort factor there. They were all very, very comfortable with each other. They were all superstars, but it's not like superstars are now. They weren't on this, super high pedestal of being, the leading striker for Manchester United or whatever. Although they were, I mean, you had Jimmy Greaves, great Spurs striker. You had, Geoff Hurst and Martin Peters, and individually they were all fantastic footballers. But there was this just sense that they had a good compact team with Alf Ramsey. He was a marvellous coach, as a manager as well. Very, very softly spoken, very authoritative though, but equally softly spoken. Had a good sense of humour, which never came over in the press. Everyone thought he was a bit dour and a bit down. In actual fact, he had a great sense of humour, and that's why I was able to photograph him laughing at himself as well, or laughing at the team on that particular day when I did that particular shot. But the moments were often highlighted by being able to play with the boys and even just playing tennis or playing snooker or whatever with them. There were certain groups that liked to play table tennis in the evening or tennis in the afternoon, and there were other groups that didn't like that and preferred to go and play cards and so on. So I mean, I was 19 years old, and some of these guys weren't much older than that. They might have been 2 or 3, 4 years older than me. So it was lads with lads, really. There was I didn't feel an outsider. I was made to feel very much at home because of my involvement. I mean, because I was able to go to the training sessions up at Lillishall Hall or be on the coach with them. So I was just part of the team, and so there was no holds barred. I didn't do anything untowards or sneaky. I wasn't sort of telling the press, a bad sneaky story about them. Everything was good. I wasn't being asked either, so I wasn't offering sort of a behind the scenes session of what it was like. Strangely though, I must admit, now I think about it, had I been interviewed by a sports writer, what's it like to be behind the scenes with the England team? Yes, I think I could have had a story, but I'm sure I could have had lots of different stories. But I told it through my photographs, and I was able to give those stories to the newspapers, and through that, came my experiences of the World Cup.